Where can I get a private money lender? How many times have I been asked that question? Part of the key to doing all this real estate investing is funding it. And part of the key to my funding, if not 99.9% of the key to my funding, is private money. So we're going to be talking about where do you find these private lenders? In this video, I want to talk to you about how to get people to raise their hand as a potential private money lender. A lot of this has to do with your elevator pitch, what an elevator pitch is, how to use it, when to use it, and how to follow up on it. So we're going to talk a lot about elevator pitches here. You know, I've raised over $26 million out on the streets right now today. I don't know how many millions in my career, probably 50, 80, 100 million, I don't know. But right now I owe $26 million to private lenders. I'm an expert in finding private lenders and recognizing when someone may be a potential private lender. It's not something that comes second nature, but it can become second nature. And I learned how to have that radar running all the time. One of the first things that was very helpful was I put together an elevator pitch. So what is an elevator pitch? It's some intriguing short statement, couple of sentences, maybe a small paragraph that you can recite at will, anytime, every time. And it will cause a person to either engage or back off of the topic. And people that engage are giving you a green light to go further. And people that back off or have no interest are just kind of telling you, I'm not your guy. It's just a way of testing the water. It's like dropping a hook and a bobber into a pond to see if there's any fish out there to bite. I'm just casting my line out and getting a hook in the water and seeing if there are any nibbles. One time I stepped onto an elevator with a man who was dressed to the nines. He was sharp. It was a very expensive suit, I could tell. The shoes were expensive, the briefcase was expensive, and when I got a glimpse at the watch, it was worth $50,000 if it was worth a penny. My radar had been turned on and taught to tune in to people just like this man. And when he walked in, my radar picked him up. This guy's successful. This is happening in split seconds in my mind. I say to him, you're a very sharp-dressed man and you look very successful. May I ask what you do for a living? Now, what I was doing there was, I really wasn't interested in what he did for a living, really. What I was doing was setting him up to ask me what I do for a living, because I use NLP or neuro-linguistic programming to get people to respond to things I say the way I want them to, so I can actually tell them what I want to tell them without me throwing up on them. You know, I want them to ask me what I do for a living. How do I do that? I ask them what they do for a living, and then I have a very patented reply, and then I get them to ask me how. So the man said he was an attorney. And I said, what kind of an attorney? And he told me what kind of attorney he was. And then I said, you know, I may need your services in the future. Do you have a card? By taking the card, I became in control of whether we will ever meet again or not, because now I have his card. When I got the card, I looked at the card and studied at it intently and kind of quietly. And then I said, I almost took that path and became an attorney, but I chose a different path. And then I held my breath and I continued to stare right into his face. He had no other choice but to ask me, what path did you take? And then I said my elevator pitch. I help average people achieve above average rates of return on their idle money, and I do it by giving very valuable Texas real estate as collateral. Then I waited for his reaction. He said, you're a real estate investor. I said, on a good day I am, and that's almost every day. And he laughed. And I said, you know, I'm paying 8 to 9 or 10%. We could have a conversation about that, or we could have a conversation about all the other legal things I need to talk about. Maybe you'll sit on my board, or maybe you'll be part of my roundtable. In short, I did meet with him again. I did call him because I had his business card. I did set up an appointment. I didn't go there to talk about what I wanted. I went there to talk about what he was good at, and if I could fit him into my business and him be a real vendor of mine, someone I wrote checks to for a real reason. And then we finally got to the point, would you like to consider what I have to offer as investments and the rate of returns that I offer? And of course he said yes, and by the end of the conversation, he was one of my private lenders and has been one of my private lenders for over 15 years. It all started because my radar was turned on. I had a plan to get him to ask me what I do so that I could give my elevator pitch so that maybe the conversation would go forward from there. And these are the kind of things that help you develop this big, deep, valuable resource of private money. And it's usually what's stopping you is right here, right between your ears. And if we can overcome that, we can get you a lot of private money. There is a world of people to call on. You could call on attorneys from here to kingdom come. You could call on one every single day. Talking to attorneys is probably the easiest way to find private lenders. They're easy to get appointments with. Hi, my name's Mitch Stephen. I'm in the real estate business up to my eyeballs. I'm looking for certain types of attorneys. I understand that you're a good attorney. I would like to find out what you specialize in. If I could get a free half-hour consult, I would like to talk to you to see if I can use you in my organization on a routine basis. Now, what I'm actually saying is, I'd like to see if you could become my lawyer for this reason or that reason or another reason. There's a lot of reasons in my business that we need attorneys. And so I'm not being unfaithful in that attempt because he may be really good at something I need, and I don't know that until I talk to him. When I get in his office, I have to explain to him my business. And when I explain to him my business, I have to explain to where I find the money to fund these. So I'm not selling him exactly on, do you want to be one of my lenders? But I'm showing him how I treat my lenders, what I pay my lenders, why my lenders are safe, my track record with my lenders, and I'm showing him all this stuff. Sooner or later, he's going to ask me if he's at all interested can I be one of those guys? I don't make 10%. I don't have that minimal risk. I'm in the stock market, for God's sake. I have to watch that ticker every day. I never know if I'm broke or not until the next morning when I wake up and the news tells me if I'm still worth anything. I don't want to live like anymore. Can I just make a straight flat 10% with you, Mitch? If they're interested, they'll ask you. But I need to get in a position in front of these attorneys to tell them what I do so they can tell me where they plug in. But along the way, I expose my tremendous asset and my tremendous value as a borrower. And so, if you open up the phone book or do some searches for attorneys, there's enough attorneys to call on 3 a day for the rest of your life, 7 days a week. So just that one segment alone and that one tactic alone is enough to get your 50 no's. Did you hear the 50 no challenge? Oh, you didn't hear that segment, did you? Look around for it. You'll find it. All right, so I'm going to repeat my elevator pitch one more time. But remember, you have to make the pitch yours. It has to become you. You say it how you say it. You move it around a little bit. Make it comfortable for you. But when I say it, this is how it goes. My name is Mitch Stephen, and I help average people achieve above average rates of return on their idle money, and I give them very valuable Texas real estate as collateral. I want you to go to the video episode, How to Find Private Money Lenders for Real Estate, and check out the 50 No's Challenge. I challenge people who want to raise private money to get 50 no's in a row using certain techniques like the ones I've been talking about. You can't do it. No one has ever reached 50 no's in a row. And the reason why I put it like this is every time you get a no, instead of being defeated, I want you to celebrate that you're one no closer to reaching your 50. And believe me, you won't make it to 50. Please comment below on how this strategy goes for you and how you do in the 50 no challenge if you're ambitious enough to take it on. And last but not least, if you're getting a lot of value from this video series, please subscribe and follow along, and also don't forget to hit the like button because we could all use all the likes we can get.